Well, hello, this is Rochelle, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm using a printable from Shawna Clingerman on Illustrated Faith called Surrender, and I bought this during the sale that they had a few weeks ago and was very inspired by the patterns and obviously the verses used as well. And so on a cold day here in South Africa in lockdown, um, having heard that our hello Grace that our lockdown has been extended with another 2 weeks, making it 5 weeks. I wanted to get into a little bit of meditating on the word, and this specific psalm leads us to Psalm 120, and I'm doing it in my Psalter. I'm just making a mask for the border so that I don't go over. I wanted that white border around this image, and I very much liked the triangles and the art marks and the words let go and be still. I love the colors of this printable. It's just beautiful, and so I wanted to recreate it in my own little way. So I'm using, I think this is Payne's Gray and a light blue from the Deco Art Americana range, and I'm just kind of blending the two very loosely into the background of this page. This specific ESV Salter does not handle the acrylics very well. It doesn't blend very nice. It's like the paper just soaks up the paint the minute it gets onto it. So it did take a bit more paint than I anticipated, as well as a bit more effort just to get coverage over all of the page. But in the end, like I said, the time that I needed to spend in the Word was there, and I was glad to be able to do it creatively and just get that message through, to be still, to let go of my issues and my perfectionism, and just trust the Lord in this time, even when it's uncertain and we don't know what's going to happen, and all kinds of things like that. So when I finally have the whole page covered, I want to start with my triangles, and for that I used the same two blues, the Payne's Gray and the lighter blue, and then a mustard yellow, and I think this is like a fleshy pink, sort of the same colors as what she used in her printable. Not exactly 100% matched, but close enough. And so I'm just, I know I sketched out those triangles. I just wanted kind of a visual idea of where I wanted them, and then just went in with a brush. I'm using dry brush just because the water thins down the paint too much if I dip it in water, and then it just, well, from what I understand, adding water to acrylics messes a bit with the binding of it, and so I just use a dry brush, just literally clean it on a tissue on the side, in between colors, just because I don't want necessarily brown coming out of this. So the verse itself says, well, the psalm heads up with "Deliver me, O Lord," and it says, "In my distress I called to the Lord, and he answered me." The version she used in her printable says, "I took my troubles to the Lord. I cried out to him, and he answered my prayer." And I was actually painting this while my husband was in the background listening to some beautiful worship songs on YouTube, and I didn't have my earphones on, so I could, listen to it with him and sing with him, and it was just a beautiful time of being still, in the sense of not being busy with our own things, but really being still, and letting the Lord take care of the anxieties in my heart. I am using a Fogestel soft brush range in a small round size to make these triangles, and in some places I could, because it is acrylic paint, go over the triangles and change the depth of them. So if you just paint over each of them, it would look like it was in a row, but with it being able to paint over, you could put them one in front, one behind, one in front, one behind. So yeah, not very technical, just having fun with it and enjoying, like I said, listening to the music and being in the Word. I don't know about you, but for me, this has become a beautiful outlet. When I'm stressed and when I'm troubled, and like the psalm says, taking my troubles to the Lord, He kind of makes a way for us. He helps us to, and I don't think it's necessarily always grabbing us out of the fire or grabbing us out of the situation or making the troubles go away, but it really is in so many things that He stills my heart. He brings me peace and helps me to not freak out when my everything wants to freak out. And so it's always a good thing to know that God's got you in that way, and He will quiet your fears, quiet your storm, quiet the noise that is in your head so many times. So like I said, I don't think, salvation in this situation would be grabbing me out of it or putting me to sleep for the next 3 weeks and having me wake up and it's all fine. It's not that salvation, but it really is that stillness and letting go of the fear and the worry as you recognize and understand how big God is in this situation. Taking that same Payne's Grey and a very small detail brush and just dabbing it around in little art mark effects. When you do this with your acrylic paints, do make sure that you wash your brushes straight away, clean your brushes straight away. Acrylic paint does have a tendency to sit on the inside of that brush, and when it hardens, it splits open the brush. So instead of a fine point, you'll have a fluffy brush. That's been my experience. Use it, don't use it. And just using a fan brush and some acrylic ink and splattering it over the page after I've stuck down those 2 little tickets that says let go and be still, as well as the verse from the printable, taking off the masking that I used to make that border on my page. I do want to add another element, a butterfly or two. I really liked those butterflies by Shawna Clingerman, and so just getting the glue ready and going to stick it on there. And then while I was doing this, that song, Call Upon the Name of the Lord and Be Saved, was playing in the background. And so I definitely wanted that somewhere on my page. And so after doing my date and my just doing different colors for a border for this verse, I am going to take some foam stamps and just stamp down Call on Him using those same 3 colors. So here as well, I'm using the 4 colors, the 4 colors in various sequences just to make that little border around the verse. It just gives it a bit more accent. I'm spreading out that mustard yellow to take my date stamp and just stamp it on the bottom of the page. And then I'm going to spread out these colors in the same way to use those foam stamps. These foam stamps that I'm using, I got from the Crazy store here in South Africa quite a while ago, and I've actually recently started using them more, especially with this acrylic stamping method or stamping on top of acrylics. It just makes a really pretty imperfect kind of stamped out word. Even with the stamps itself, it is very imperfect. Like you'll see that N is wrong way around, and I kind of like it. It's just, it adds to the beauty of it, I think, for me. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I want to thank you for sticking it out, for visiting my channel. Grace also wants to say goodbye, and then that's us for today. Thank you so much. See you again soon. Bye-bye.